Why I eat the same foods almost every day. How reducing food decisions changed my dieting. For a long time, I approached dieting the way most people do. I searched for the perfect plan, because I thought successful dieting was mostly about finding the right strategy, the right calorie target, better timing, the right foods, better supplements, the right balance between flexibility and discipline, better optimization. And for a while, that approach worked reasonably well. Like most people who diet seriously, I accumulated a huge amount of nutritional knowledge over the years. But eventually, I started noticing something that seemed more important than nutritional knowledge itself. Dieting fatigue rarely came from one big decision. It came from the constant streaming of small ones. What should I eat today? Should I fit something fun into my calories? Should I cook something different tonight? Am I hungry or just bored? Should I order food? Should I have a snack? None of these decisions are particularly difficult on their own, but repeated every day for years, they create a kind of low-level friction that slowly wears you down. And increasingly, I started to suspect that one of the major advantages of highly structured eating wasn't nutritional superiority at all. It was psychological simplicity. So over time, almost accidentally, my diet became narrower. My meals became more repetitive. My shopping became more repetitive. Even my meal prep became more repetitive. And the strange thing was, adherence actually started feeling easier. These days, most of my meals are built from some variation of lean protein, potatoes, rice, vegetables, bananas, strawberries, and Greek yogurt, and a relatively small number of other rotating foods. To many people, that probably sounds restrictive. To me, it mostly feels efficient and stabilizing. I no longer spend much mental energy thinking about food. Meals are already decided. Calories are predictable. Shopping is simple. Meal prep is simple. More importantly, the emotional negotiation around food becomes quieter. And I think that matters more than most diet discussions acknowledge. A lot of nutrition culture seems built around maximizing novelty, new recipes, hyper-palatable, healthy desserts, flexible dieting hacks, constant variation, endless ways to make dieting feel less like dieting. I understand the appeal of that approach, and for some people it probably works very well. For me though, more variety usually created more negotiation, which led to increased friction. The more I thought about food, the more decisions I had to make. The more decisions I had to make, the more negotiation crept in. The result, unintentionally drifting off course. Reducing variety didn't eliminate appetite or cravings. What changed was the baseline environment. It reduced noise. Especially because I'm not trying to diet for 12 weeks. I'm trying to maintain a workable system across years. Most days now feel relatively stable and predictable. And when periods of indulgence end, I already know exactly what I'm returning to. The older I get, the less interested I become in systems that require constant motivation, constant creativity, or constant self-control. I'm much more interested in systems that reduce the need for those things altogether. And strangely enough, eating many of the same foods repeatedly has done exactly that. There's another aspect to this that I think people often misunderstand. Eating repetitive meals does not mean I never enjoy food. I don't believe enjoyment has to disappear for fat loss to work. I occasionally intentionally overeat. I take maintenance phases or planned surplus periods. I definitely have not transcended cravings. But reducing the number of decisions I had to make every day lowers accumulated friction, leading to better adherence almost automatically. Because, in my experience, long-term fat loss is not about perfection. It's about recovery speed. How quickly can you return to structure? How much friction exists when you do? How many decisions are required to get back on track? When the structure is already built into daily life, the return becomes much easier. And honestly, after enough years of dieting, I've started to think adherence is usually less about intensity than environment, and more about reducing unnecessary complexity. Simplicity isn't morally superior. It's just that complexity accumulates fatigue, and fatigue accumulates failure. So, no, I don't eat the same foods every day because I think they're magical. I eat them because repetition reduces friction, negotiation, and noise. The easier your default routine becomes, the easier it is to maintain over long periods of time. That's really the entire idea. I eat many of the same foods every day, because eventually I realized I wasn't trying to win individual meals. I was trying to build a system I could live inside for years. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this, please consider liking and subscribing, or support the project on Buy Me a Coffee.